generally speaking, the biggest concern is that you lose your rights under federal law when and states have been very specific in their quest to break that chain of funding by giving money to the parents directly. For example, with if they're using federal funds, or if they're even through state funded. I'm sorry, there's only one federally funded voucher program right now in Washington, D.C. But when they break the funding from the state and give it to the parent, then the parent goes and secures the placement in the school. Then they're basically it's a private placement. It's a parent paying for that placement, and therefore they lose a lot of their rights. And or the schools have less oversight. There's the ability to counsel students out to we've heard a lot from families across the country where their child was accepted, and then they take the money, the school gets the money from the state, and then they kick their child out in the first quarter of the year. The school still has the money because they've already been paid. The child has no placement, and then particularly if they have a what we call a dangerous reputation, or a reputation for behaviors that it may be very difficult to find another placement. And then the parent says, okay, I guess we have to go back to public school. But guess what? When you took the child out of public school, placed them in the private school, you withdrew them. So now you have to go through the whole process of applying for eligibility again. We've heard horror stories of kids who have been out of school for 2 years. Trying to go through that. So yes, COPAA doesn't have a position against vouchers per se, because we know there are a lot of families that and students who have benefited from that model. But we are very against the loss of rights. States can construct a voucher program, in any way that they choose, and some have maintained some rights. Some still follow the IEPs, for example, still have, child find requirements, but they may have less rights when it comes to due process or challenging. So people really need to do an incredible job of finding out, what does your state program look like? What rights do you retain? What rights do you have to give up? What choices are there really? What is the, I don't know if you want to call it the history or the, the reputation of the schools in terms of serving students? Is it a better fit? Have they made that commitment? Are students able to stay in the program and get benefit from it?